Hi, Greg the Brickitect here. This is my second creation using pieces from LEGO Creator Set 31011 Aviation Adventures. This is an ultralight aircraft commonly called a gyrocopter, and the inspiration came from a video game that I used to really love playing growing up called Pilotwings 64. In that video game, there were several different aircraft you could fly, and this was one of them. Not exactly the same thing, but I got as close as I could get. As you can see, it's more or less a helicopter, but it has sort of like this little cockpit and wheels under it. Typically, these wheels are a good bit smaller than these are, but again, I'm only using the pieces that came with the particular set that I'm using, so I had to make use of what I had. And then coming up forward, you have a little bit of a front area here with a small windshield. Since I didn't have any windshield pieces, these little gray tile slopes had to do. Inside the cockpit, you have yourself a nice little seat there with some slopes going on both sides. Further back, there's an engine which powers a propeller, which is in the back here. Doesn't spin too well, but that's about as good as it's going to get, and I kind of made my own propeller action out of that. And then there's another rotor on the top of this that also spins. And this is for like a helicopter feature, so it kind of flies up and then this propels it forward and the rider would sit in there and control it. And then further on the back here, you have this piece which is sort of like a rudder or a tail piece that can kind of turn back and forth like this. So as you're flying, that would turn you left and right. And I really love the color scheme of this. Again, I had to use the blue, white, and yellow color scheme that was featured in all the other builds because that's all I had. And again, this one only used a small fraction of the pieces, but I think it turned out pretty good. The only thing I'm not entirely happy with is up here at the rotor. There wasn't a whole lot I could do there, so I had to use a couple of these bigger pieces, which kind of makes it look a little out of sorts considering it should just be these thin pieces going the whole way up. But with this piece that I used that actually makes this spin, it was really my only option. And I'm okay with that, considering it's you can only have what you can choose from, and that's quite fine. The engine isn't like accurate for a gyrocopter. It's just something I created, and you can see the pieces on the side, and I put a little bit of vents on the top. This is symmetrical on both sides. This side looks exactly the same, and here's what the undercarriage looks like. I kind of took as this piece falls off the back, I kind of took the wheels from the front of the helicopter and I put them onto the bottom of this so it kind of holds itself upright, and instead of it being long ways, it's sort of short, but it sits fairly level when you set it down, and I'm quite happy with this. So it definitely takes me back to my video game days playing Pilotwings 64, and this is a fun little build, and I think that is probably my last mock that I'm going to make from this set. I really need to move on. I have so many other sets to build, so I thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.